Did you know that the US has sent $43 billion worth of security assistance to Ukraine since the war? Did you know that Vivek Ramaswamy raised $450,000 hours following the GOP debate? Did you know that the US added 187,000 jobs in July and saw unemployment drop to 3.5%? Did you know that Joe Biden leads Donald Trump in a Quinnipiac University poll? Biden garnered 47% support compared to Trump's 46%. Did you know that Donald Trump's campaign is selling merchandise holding Trump's mugshot? This includes t-shirts, mugs, koozies and bumper stickers. Did you know that Vivek Ramaswamy said that he expects Elon Musk to be an advisor of his? Ramaswamy has previously praised Musk for his management of X. Did you know that Dean Phillips said he would not challenge Joe Biden for the Democratic nomination? Despite this, he still said that he would encourage others to enter the primary. Did you know that Donald Trump has raised $7.1 million since being booked at an Atlanta jail? On Friday alone, Trump raised $4.18 million. Did you know that Chris Sununu said that he will do everything he can to help narrow the GOP primary field? His goal is to prevent Trump from becoming the 2024 GOP nominee. Did you know that Donald Trump leads a pre-debate GOP primary poll by Emerson College with 56% support? DeSantis and Ramaswamy followed with 10% each. Did you know that Canada has seen the average home price rise to $668,754? This is a 6.3% increase from a year before. Did you know that Vivek Ramaswamy previously said that he would not accept a position as vice president or in the cabinet? Ramaswamy said he'd prefer to drive change through the private sector. Did you know that the US government has agreed to the sale of Apache helicopters and related equipment worth $12 billion to Poland? The goal is to deter a potential future Russian invasion. Did you know that Ron DeSantis' 6-week abortion ban law has not been enforced? It will only be enforced if Florida's current 15-week ban is upheld in an ongoing legal challenge in front of the state Supreme Court. Did you know that Kevin McCarthy said that he would not prefer a stopgap funding bill extending to December? McCarthy said he would prefer a short-term bill to form a stronger argument in committee to remove what he called the Pelosi policies. Did you know that Jim Jordan has requested Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to turn over all records relating to Trump's election interference case in Georgia? Jordan's letter cites concerns about Willis's motivation. Did you know that the Freedom Caucus signaled opposition to President Biden's request for an additional $24 billion in Ukraine aid? The group said that members will oppose any blank check for Ukraine in any supplemental appropriations bill. Did you know that Nikki Haley took shots at Donald Trump? Haley said that Trump would spend more time in a courtroom than on the campaign trail and cited electability concerns, saying that Trump is the most disliked politician in all of America. Did you know that Vivek Ramaswamy received a boost in Iowa? Iowa Treasurer Roby Smith endorsed Ramaswamy, saying that Ramaswamy will reduce spending, cut taxes, and work with the private sector to grow jobs in the economy. Did you know that Donald Trump leads a GOP primary poll by CBS News? Trump garnered 62% support. DeSantis followed with 16. Ramaswamy came third with 7. Mike Pence trailed with 5. Did you know that Donald Trump leads in an Iowa GOP poll by NBC News, Des Moines Register, and Mediacom? Trump garnered 42% support. DeSantis followed with 19. Tim Scott came third with 9. Did you know that Donald Trump is believed by some to have acted illegally when he stored classified documents at his home? An APNORC poll found that 53% of respondents said it was illegal for Trump to store classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago home. Did you know that Donald Trump has received an endorsement from Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy? Alaska holds its primary on Super Tuesday. With Dunleavy's backing, Trump has earned the support of 3 of the 5 Republican governors who have endorsed in the race. Did you know that Ron DeSantis canceled campaign events this week? This news comes as Tropical Storm Idalia approaches Florida. Idalia could be a Category 2 hurricane. DeSantis was previously scheduled to campaign in South Carolina on Monday. Did you know that Asa Hutchinson's presidential campaign paid college students $20 for every donor they could find who would pay at least $1 to the campaign? This helped Hutchinson reach the 40,000 donor threshold required to participate in the first RNC debate. Did you know that the Biden administration's Biomedical Research Agency will invest up to $24 million to develop mRNA platforms that can train the immune system to better fight cancer? This could extend to autoimmune disorders, transplants and infectious diseases. Did you know that Vivek Ramaswamy is in some controversy? In a clip released by The Atlantic, Ramaswamy said that he has no reason to think that there were any police or federal agents on the planes that hit the Twin Towers. He previously also said that he does not believe the 9/11 Commission. Did you know that the Biden administration sanctioned 3 businesses linked to a scheme to transfer weapons from North Korea to Russia for the war? The businesses are linked to an individual the Treasury Department alleges worked with North Korean officials to try to obtain over 24 different kinds of weapons and munitions for Russia. Did you know that Kevin McCarthy could launch an impeachment inquiry into President Biden? McCarthy said that based on the information gathered, an impeachment inquiry is a natural step forward. McCarthy previously said that investigations into the Biden family's foreign business dealings could lead to such an event. Did you know that Donald Trump is believed by some to have acted illegally in Georgia? An APNORC poll found that 51% believed that Trump's efforts to overturn the election in Georgia were illegal. 13% believed it was unethical but not illegal. 15% thought he did nothing wrong. Did you know that Rick Scott could face a general election challenge from former House Representative Debbie Mucarsel-Powell? In an ad, Mucarsel-Powell targeted Scott over abortion and in his previous proposal that would have called to sunset Social Security and Medicare, among other federal programs, after 5 years. Did you know that Brian Fitzpatrick is facing a primary challenge from an anti-abortion activist? Mark Houck was acquitted of criminal charges after an altercation with an abortion clinic escort. He also previously told a local radio host last week that he doesn't support abortion access or exceptions for rape and incest. Did you know that Joe Biden's presidential campaign is launching a $25 million advertising campaign for 16 weeks? Television ads will target Arizona, Michigan, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Florida will also see ads targeting Hispanic voters. Did you know that the Biden administration told New York Governor Kathy Hochul that it cannot send more aid to New York to help with the influx of migrants, citing a lack of congressional action? This is in response to Hochul asking for executive action to help the state, having estimated that 100,000 asylum seekers have arrived in the last year. Did you know that New York has earmarked over $1.5 billion to assist migrants this year? The governor expects that costs to rise to $4.5 billion next year. In New York City, shelters have been at near capacity for months, and temporary housing has been formed in hotels, recreation centers, and school gyms. Did you know that Joe Biden is alleged to have spoken with Hunter Biden's business associates? During an oversight panel testimony, a former Hunter Biden associate alleged Hunter many times put his father on speakerphone in front of foreign business associates but said that he was not aware of any wrongdoing by Biden and that the conversations were limited to pleasantries. Did you know that House Republicans subpoenaed Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas? The subpoena concerns a program that allows citizens of Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua and Venezuela to enter the U.S. on a temporary basis. The Biden administration has been allowing up to 30,000 citizens from the 4 countries to enter each month. Did you know Ron DeSantis was viewed as having won the GOP debate? DeSantis was believed by the plurality of probable primary or caucus goers, 29%, as having performed the best according to a poll by The Washington Post, 538 and Ipsos. Ramaswamy followed with 26. Nikki Haley trailed with 15. Did you know that the Biden administration approved a commercial-scale offshore wind energy project off Rhode Island? Its projected capacity is just more than 700 megawatts. The administration has set a goal of 30 gigawatts of offshore wind power capacity by the end of the decade, part of a broader goal of cutting U.S. carbon emissions in half by 2030. Did you know that the Congressional Hispanic Caucus sent a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland and Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas to stop the Texas Department of Public Safety from intentionally separating migrant families? According to the letter, the department's policy of arresting certain migrants for criminal trespassing has caused the separation of at least 26 families. Did you know that the Biden administration has finalized the restoration of Obama-era offshore oil drilling rules? This includes a required analysis and investigation of any failures within 3 months of an incident as well as real-time drilling monitoring. It also strengthens safety requirements for blowout preventers, the system of seals and valves used to prevent pressurized oil and gas from bursting out of wells. Did you know that the Biden administration imposed visa restrictions on Chinese officials for allegedly forcing the assimilation of over 1 million Tibetan children in government-run schools? Secretary of State Antony Blinken said China is employing coercive policies on the Tibetan population that seek to eliminate Tibet's distinct linguistic, cultural, and religious traditions among younger generations of Tibetans.